Hi there, my name is Nathalia Westmacott-Brown and I'm the author of the little book of self-care, Breathwork, which is published by DK, Dorkin Kinsley. The book in the UK looks a little bit like that. I don't know if you might have seen it, but if you haven't seen it already, it's a very, very simple introduction to breathing consciously and how that can support you with a whole array of circumstances in your life. Incidentally, just in case you're wondering, this is my friend, my microphone. It's called a snowball and we're filming in the snow. So there's all kinds of synchronicities occurring for this particular recording. What can I tell you? I've been a breath worker, a breathing teacher and trainer since 2004 after meeting a rebirther, and the session work that I did with her literally changed the course of my life. Formerly I was working in film production and finding the pace of that life very damaging to myself, both physically in terms of stress levels, emotionally my relationships were very challenging, and psychologically definitely I was not in a very good state while I was working as a freelancer. So I've learned subsequently the importance of using one's breath as a way of staying centered, of maintaining a pace which is appropriate for your own body moment to moment, and regulating emotions which come up inevitably for all of us at different times during our working life. So DK have generously invited me to create a short film, or I think a couple of short films, to offer people who are currently working at home as a result of the COVID lockdown, and specifically their staff, the DK staff from the publishing house. Big hello to you. This is a film for you just to hopefully inspire a little bit of a deeper inquiry as to the role that your breath has in your body, not just for the purpose of survival, which is a very obvious basic payoff with automatic breathing, but engaging with your breath deliberately, engaging with your breath and observation of your breath as a form of meditation, a mindfulness practice, and also used more dynamically for psychotherapeutic release work, which is a posh way of saying getting the difficult stuff out, following the old adage, better out than in. So this is my introduction, and I'm going to start the process today by talking about right timing and finding your pace. This is a challenge for me in my life. Often feel like I'm behind schedule. I often feel like the pressure to meet the deadline or the requirement from my work is pushing me forwards in a way which is sometimes advantageous and beneficial. A certain amount of adrenaline can motivate the movement we need to do what we need to do. But habitual adrenal cortisol release in the bloodstream can become a very serious problem, and can also become habitual. The body becomes dependent upon what it knows in terms of the chemicals it's firing off and receiving. So if you find yourself in a position where you are regularly feeling stressed by the timing issue, that is feeling late, or feeling stressed by other people's lateness is another way this can show up, then it could be indicating that you need a little bit more of an inquiry into the deeper emotional imprints around right timing. And following your own rhythms doesn't necessarily mean going out of step with your responsibilities, doesn't mean going out of step with the world. Slowing everything down, for example, to such a slow rate that you're no longer functioning or effective. This is about finding a pace which is appropriate moment to moment and varies in accordance with what is needed from you. Of course, if we don't address our mid to long-term stress issues in the workplace or elsewhere, the likelihood is that we'll end up in some kind of state of fatigue or burnout. Perhaps the body will resort to illness as a way of slowing us down. So this is an invitation to check in today. Take a breath into your body, perhaps even right now, a deliberate breath. And using that breath as an inquiry that says, how am I in relation to right timing? And just asking, essentially scanning your body, making an inquiry to see whether there's any tightness around the belly, any tightness around the chest. Is it easy to get into anxiety around timing issues? And then setting the intention of dropping into right relationship with your own natural rhythms of your body. We're going to undertake a breathing process which extends the exhale. The extension of the exhale being longer than the inhale will start to balance the central nervous system, start to calm the body-mind, and start to bring us into a more grounded experience. We're going to do that initially. We're going to breathe in to the count of 4, and we're going to breathe out to the count of 8. And in the first instance, I'm going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. That's in for 4 through the nose, out for 8 through the mouth, with a slight pursing of the lips. Once again. Out with 8. And one more time. And coming back to a regular breath. And that's just 4 rounds of in for 4, out for 8. And now I'm scanning my body, which simply means looking within, feeling, opening up a deeper connection with feeling, to compare whether my body feels more relaxed, more open, or more tense and more anxious than it did before the exercise. So this is an important part of the process. What I notice about my own system, my own body at the moment, is my belly and my abdomen feels warmer, more grounded and more open, having taken those slightly longer breaths in and those much longer exhales out. So that's a very simple process of extending the out breath. You notice the in breath is in through the nose. This is generally a calming breath. And the out breath is through slightly pursed lips, and it's a long, slow exhale. Slowing down the out breath brings the body into a more integrated sense of groundedness. Okay, so I'm going to leave it for now with that as my first contribution, my first tip for handling stress-related circumstances which can come up around timing issues. There's a lot more than can be said about it. I work deeply with the suppressed birth experience, which is one of the places where people can, where we can pick up a unhelpful ideas and experiences around timing, around not having our own timing trusted. and the more interventions or the more medicalised the birth was, the more likely that your own timing may not have been trusted in that most important formative experience, which is your arrival into the world. So more about the birth and the relationship that the birth has with breath in another video. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and do me it's a pleasure sharing this with you. It's really a great passion of mine. It was a great delight to write the book, and although I'm quite new to making the videos, I hope that it's been useful to you. And if you want to see any more, feel free to go right to my YouTube channel, which is quite new, but I would appreciate any support that you can offer going to that page. Okay, speak to you on the next video.